CNN was running as you were getting dressed on the TV, so you just feel like the world's falling to pieces. And yeah, then you're straight into caffeine, and then you're running to some meeting that you didn't want to do, and then something goes wrong. You're like,
The day
this
shot.
day is the worst.
The day shot?
Yeah.
No, for sure. This is the reason that McRaven at here at UT Austin gave that
He was
famous,
right here like 2 weeks ago.
yeah, famous speech, "Make your bed." His whole point was get your first win.
Yes.
Right now, it should be get up at 4:45 and make your bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have to build it around that. I mean, when I was 19 years old on my own for the first time, not in college. I mean, like you, I found myself not in college.
Yeah.
And I was working for a living. I was 3,000 miles away from my family, and I remember waking up in my little apartment by myself at 19 for the first time. And it wasn't at 4:45 in the morning, by the way. It took me a little while to get that one down. But I remember opening my eyes and going, well, how am I going to start my adult life?
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to do something I've never done before. I had one stick of furniture, which was a bed.
On the ground, or was it raised off the ground?
It was raised off the ground.
Oh, good for you. You're
Because,
ahead of the
well,
curve.
it was a supposedly furnished apartment. It wasn't me who bought that. And I made that bed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh. And that was literally the first time I'd ever thought about that. And I have made my bed ever since then, since I was 19 years old. But that was the small win. And life is built by the day, and the days are built on the wins.
Yeah.
And the wins start in the morning. And this is the point. And so if you guard that and have a protocol for that that's productive, that leads you to be able to do something really good before somebody can take it away from you, you can't lose.
But it is interesting how perennial this battle to like own the morning, to do it right is. Like, I remember I was 19. I was in my college apartment, which was also furnished, so that's why I had a bed off the ground. And I get my copy of Meditations. It comes from Amazon. I had to wait a couple days for it to arrive because Prime didn't exist yet, And I read this passage in Meditations from Marcus Aurelius. Let me find it. I think he says, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into this world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm?" And he says, "But it's nicer here." And then he says, "So you're born to feel nice?" You know, and then he goes, he's like, the dancer is up, the baker is up, the bugs are out, the dogs are up. He's like, this is what animals do. He's not saying you got to go be a wage slave at your crappy job. He's saying, though, that we have purpose. I think, what was Dante's line? Like, under the blankets is no way to fame. You're not going to win the day staying in bed. You're not going to be who you're meant to be staying in bed. And then there in this passage, you're reading the most powerful man in the world arguing with himself about it. It's like, nobody's a morning person.